What's going on, everyone? Scott here. Welcome back to the channel. So Michigan State versus that school down the road. Regular season finale, senior day in the Brez on Sunday, 12 o'clock on CBS. Now, that school down the road is coming in 22-8. 14-5 in the Big Ten. Now that MSU has claimed the outright Big Ten title, yes, this is a rivalry game, but now they are playing for positioning next week in the Big Ten tournament. I think with tiebreakers, they could end up anywhere from the 2nd seed to the 5th seed. So still a bunch to play for from that school down the road's perspective. Now, they are coming in 2-3 in their last 5 games. And this last 5-game stretch started with that home loss to Michigan State a couple weeks ago. Now, Michigan State's coming in 25-5, 16-3 in the Big Ten with the outright Big Ten title locked up. 1 seed in the Big Ten tournament and seemingly locked in for a 2 seed for the NCAA tournament from what it seems like. Probably at worst a high 3 seed, but obviously anything can happen on Sunday in the Big Ten tournament next week. So you never know, but that's where MSU sits right now. Winners of 6 straight and 7 of 8 overall, all versus the top of the Big Ten. And this will be another tough one. Of course, the rivalry, but also, as we said, that school down the road is a good team. Their record isn't an anomaly, and we talked about it in the last preview. They can do a lot of stuff matchup-wise for Michigan State to provide problems, and we saw that a little bit at times last time out at Chrysler when Michigan State traveled there. They were able to do some things, especially in the first half, that caused some problems for Michigan State. So definitely some adjustments will be made, both sides. But before we do get into this matchup, if you could, just hit that like and subscribe button down there. More Michigan State basketball content on the channel, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a video. Now, that school on the road is still led by their 2 7-footers, Vlad Golden and Danny Wolf. First, Vlad, 16-7 on the year with 1.4 blocks. And then Wolf, 13 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists with 1.4 blocks as well. Now, last time these two against Michigan State, Vlad had 21 points, 7 for 11 from the field, and 7 for 11 from the free throw line. But kept him off the boards for the most part, only 5 rebounds overall. Wolf had 11 points on 5 for 11 shooting, 7 rebounds, and 8 assists. And that's the deal with Wolf. It's the playmaking for him, doing all the other little things on the court. And he still made plays, and thankfully not enough to win that night. But he's definitely a guy, one of the best in the Big Ten. Definitely will be an all-conference player overall. But overall, he can do a lot of things, playmaking with the ball in his hands, scoring the ball, rebounding, assisting. So definitely something to watch out for again here. And he's been really good all year, coming off 20 points, 8 rebounds against Maryland, even though they did lose that game. But leads the conference in rebounds overall, so definitely got to try to keep him off the glass in this one. Him and Vlad are top 5 in blocks in the Big Ten as well. Now, Trey Donaldson, who averaged 12 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists on the year with the steal as well, 40% from 3. Michigan State really made him inefficient last time out. 3 points on 1 for 5 from the field in 31 minutes. Namari Burnett, another double-digit scorer for them, averages 10 points on 41% from 3, but just had that buzzer beater a couple games ago against Rutgers. He had 12 points on 2 for 5 shooting from 3 and 5 for 8 overall from the field last time out against Michigan State. Now, really the last time out, that was it for that school down the road. Will Shetter had 5 points off the bench. So did Roddy Gale. And I actually think these two guys in this matchup specifically in the Breslin Center are going to be key. Obviously, from their perspective, tough road environment coming into the Brez, but they have both came into this environment before with that school down the road and with Ohio State for Roddy Gale. But they've been in the Big Ten, played in the Brez before, where besides Burnett as well, no one else really on this team has been in this environment, at least that plays and is major contributors for them. None of them have really been in this environment like this in the Brez. So keeping an eye on these two Sunday afternoon, and I think they could provide a spark for them. So that's something Michigan State will definitely have to account for. As a team, they average 79 points a game, 6th in the conference, 3rd in rebounds per game at 38 per game, just behind Illinois and Michigan State, 4th in assists at 16, middle of the pack, 10th at 34% from 3, 72% from the free throw line, 13th in the league from the free throw line. And the biggest key in this game, in my opinion, 14 turnovers per game, which is last in the Big Ten. They turn it over the most in the Big Ten, and that was something we saw in the Maryland game for them. I I didn't catch the whole game, but the small portion that I turned on, it was like 3 to 5 straight possessions that they were just handing the ball to Maryland and going to score. Maryland didn't even take advantage of it. I think it was like 4 or 5 straight turnovers, whatever it was, and Maryland only came away with 2 points. So that was a break there, but I think that is a big key, especially in a road environment for them. Coming in at Michigan State needs to be able to force those turnovers and capitalize off those in transition. But conversely, they force about 12 turnovers a game. Does that school down the road? Their bench ranks 224th in terms of bench points. Michigan State is 5th at 35 per game off the bench. 164th in three-point percentage, 36%, right in that area. They shot 24% last time out against Michigan State. 168th in fast break points, 10 per game, which is what they had last time out as well. But they're 60th in tempo. Michigan State 4th in terms of fast break points per game at 17 per game. They also had 10 last time out. They're 139th in tempo, and I think this will be the key, is these fast break points and the tempo, the pace of the game. If they can turn Michigan State over and get out and run, get some easy buckets, get their momentum going, then that could be trouble for Michigan State. And that's one reason I bring up Will Shetter, and specifically in this portion of the game, Roddy Gale. If they can force turnovers, the bigs knocking the ball out, or digging down on Michigan State drives to the paint, and the wings, or who's ever on the wings, Roddy Gale, whoever, getting out, getting that tip deflection and getting out and running, then I think that could be something that they take advantage of in this game, and Michigan State will have to do a good job hanging on to the ball, not doing that. But if there is a turnover, getting back in transition defense, not allowing those easy buckets. Now, for Michigan State, hanging on to the ball, as we just said, we saw it last time out. They had 9 turnovers in the first half, finished with 11, so they were able to turn it on in the second half. But as we said, you don't kind of want to play with fire. They will definitely be motivated, and you can't give them chances by just handing them the ball and turning it over. We always say 8 to 12 turnovers, right in that range, right in that sweet spot. Michigan State was last time out against them, but as we said, more 75-80% of those turnovers came in the first half. So wanna tighten that up a little bit. As we said, don't want to play with fire, but going to have to knock down a couple threes as well. One of your best 3-point shooting games last time out against them, 9 for 22, 41% from 3. But also, I think a big key here, free throws, which have, in Tom Izzo's words, kind of fallen off a cliff. You need to hit your free throws in this game, but also coming down the end of the regular season, as this is the last game of the regular season before we get into Big Ten tournament play and NCAA tournament play, both next week and the week after that. So watching the free throws in this one, try to get back to where they are. So I think they're second in the Big Ten right now in free throw percentages. Michigan State towards the tops in the country as well. Needs to start getting back on that pace that they've been on all season long. Last time out against them, we didn't see Jax get it going really in the post. We did see a lot of Cooper pick and rolls and lobs. So I think that we're going to see more of Cooper in this game if that's something that they're still able to exploit from their defense and get going. I wouldn't be surprised if they do go that route. And I think Cooper played about 19 minutes last time out against them, and I wouldn't be surprised if that goes up a little bit, but I also wouldn't be surprised if they had a counter for that, and we maybe see more of Jackson if they do try to get into that action, instead of rolling to the basket, if he kind of fakes it back out and either pops and tries to knock down the jumper, or reverse action, or if they're screening one way and then they both sell out to go, if then the guards are taking it straight to the basket if they're going that, or reverse it and then Jax tries to steal on the backside, or if he tries to cut on the roll but then recuts back to rescreen to create that separation, then you got the bigs kind of playing. They're going here, they're going there, cause some confusion to pocket passes, see what you can open up there. Curious if they go that route, if they aren't able to get those same looks that they were able to last time out in that part of the game. Closing it out here, senior day. Simone Tapala, Frankie Fiddler, and of course, Jaden Akins. Obviously, Jaden Akins, you'll hear it multiple times any preview you watch. I'm sure you'll hear it in the broadcast of the game or in the arena if you're lucky enough to be in there. Jaden Akins really has been here through it all. You think about it, he gets here in 2021 and really has been through the ringer here, has seen a couple 7 seeds, high seeds in the Big Ten tournament, hasn't seen a Big Ten banner until this year, but he stuck it out, continued to get better, has provided big moments throughout. We'll talk about it here in a second, but his game against that school down the road last year in the Breslin Center, in tournament play, he's had some good big moments as well. And it's really, throughout the early parts of his career, he was a really good 3-point shooter, as we talked about a couple times. Shot 36, 38, 42% throughout his career. Like, that's what he was known for. And he did all that playing out of position too. I mean, he's naturally a 2 guard, really. And he did that because of the personnel on the roster. He played out of position. He played the 3 position. And because of doing that, I think that made him the defender that he is. He's definitely going to be on an all Big Ten defensive team. And I think he should be. And I know there are plenty of people out there. Rafael Davis, definitely one of the biggest names out there, campaigning him for Big Ten Player of the Year. And I definitely think he should get that nod and definitely in consideration. He's definitely going to be he's an all Big Ten defender. So, but just really him playing out of position, I think helped him having to play the 3, guard bigger wings, and, just what he's done, just a program guy, and, continue to build, stick it out, didn't transfer, just an OKG, as Tom Izzo likes to say, sticking it out. But Simone Zapala as well, him coming in, starting role, and yes, it's not like he's putting up a double-double every game, but he comes out, he does his job just like everyone on this team does, is completely bought in to the culture of Michigan State, and really can say that about Frankie Fidler as well. It's something that sticks out for Frankie. Well, really, Frankie comes in and he's, Izzo even says it in the preseason, like Jaden and him are supposed to be the 2 guys and go-to guys on this team, as they were searching for that. And he starts the year, and by December, they had went a different direction. They realized, things weren't going the way they needed to. So they, shifted gears, and Frankie was coming off the bench, and he's settled into his role, and he's, does his job in his role, which is what you can say about this whole team, this whole roster, which is what has made this year so fun. And one thing that really sticks out about Frankie Fidler is Stephen Brooks on Twitter. I believe he did an interview with him, but I just saw the snippet that he had reposted on Twitter, so obviously go read the whole thing. But he was just talking about how people might say, like, oh, maybe the grass isn't always greener on the other side, because, he's not, coming and averaging what he was at Omaha, and not averaging 20 points a game, and not the, XYZ, all this stuff. But he's like, in my opinion, we're a top 10 team in the country. We just won a Big Ten title. This year has been incredible. And that's the attitude that I feel like everyone on this team has, and just is why everyone is just aligned and keeps this thing, moving forward together. And, really these 3 seniors here, obviously Simone and Frankie have only been here for 1 year, and really Jaden as the catalyst of that, since he has been here for so long, and is that leader, one of the leaders on this team, and really is just, the whole team just kind of reflects that, like, not running when things get tough, and just doing whatever it is for the team to win. And would love for all of them to have their moment. And for Jaden specifically, would love aggressive Jaden to see some 3s go down, similar to his 7 for 10 performance against that school down the road last year in the Brez. Would absolutely love for him to go out like that. But also, Jace Richardson, who knows? He's kind of played himself in the lottery discussions, which has been incredible. We're not in the position we are right now. Big Ten champions without Jace blossoming into what he has this year, into a lottery pick, lottery discussions. And obviously, hope he comes back, but you never know. This could potentially be the last time we see him in the Brez, and would love for him to have an awesome performance, like we have seen for a majority of this year, but really specifically this last stretch. He's played really good all year, but really that Oregon game when Jeremy Fears was sick and he got the start, and he's been starting, and since he's been inserted into the starting lineup, he had 29 points that Oregon game, has won them a handful of games, kept them in the last game, kept them in a handful of games till everyone else comes along, and then makes it the whole team effort and gets on that roll. And we'll love for him to have another game like that in the Brez. Hope it's not his last game in the Breslin Center, but if it is, would love for him to have his moment as well. But Bart Torvik has that school down the road as the 26th team in the country, 17th in the polls, 54th adjusted efficiency offense, 20th adjusted efficiency defense. Michigan State at number 17 on Bart Torvik, 8th in the polls currently, 42nd adjusted efficiency offense, 9th adjusted efficiency defense. Now Bart Torvik has this as a 75-69 Michigan State win. Love for that to be the final. Would also absolutely love a 2000 throwback where you just beat them by like 40. Enjoy senior day. Hang a banner afterwards. Would just absolutely love that. Anyway, really looking forward to the game, obviously. The rivalry. I'm lucky enough to be in the building on Sunday for this one. And senior day is one of my favorite games every single year for a multitude of reasons. What these guys have meant to this program, university, everything, and seeing them in their last game at Michigan State, regular season game at Michigan State at the Breslin Center. Definitely going to be a good one, and hope that Michigan State can send these seniors out with a win here. But anyway, that'll do it for this one. We will definitely be back, obviously, with a recap after this one, and we'll be back, obviously, to talk about the Big Ten tournament coming up next week. But anyway, that'll do it for this one. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Peace out.